Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here. And tonight we are looking at a Dario Argento film. If you remember back one Christmas we looked at Deep Red, one of his best giallos. And this one was his follow-up after his return to the giallo, Tenebrae. And this is a sort of a giallo-esque film. It's also reminiscent of his big cult classic Suspiria, in which a music student comes to a school that just happens to be run by a coven of witches. This one, we have a student coming to a school that just happens to have some crazy killer running around somewhere nearby. It stars Jennifer Connelly. She's only 14 in this, so put your eyes back in. This is, of course, one of her big films. Her early films, like Labyrinth, which she made with David Bowie. And, of course, she went on to make The Rocketeer and Hulk, among others. And also with her is Donald Pleasence. Yes, Donald Pleasence of Fantastic Voyage, Halloween, Escape from New York, Telephone, Columbo. Yeah, I could just go on and on with this. Alone in the Dark. Anyways, we open with a girl who's a tourist, and she gets separated from her class, the bus. She misses it and tries to get help at a nearby house.
Hi, keeper.
Oh, talk about a jump scare. She does manage to get away. Temporarily.
Tis but a scratch.
Ooh, getting all arty there with that slow motion fall back to the glass. Unfortunately, it beheads her, and then we have this little montage of the head rolling through the surf and going over a waterfall. That actress? That is Dario Argento's other daughter. You know he has Aja, who went through a really rough patch with scandals and stuff. But we don't need to go into that. Next up, we have Donald Pleasence playing Dr. McGregor, who is an entomologist. And when the girl's body has been found, they need his help in establishing time of death, which he just happens to have the knowledge to supply that.
Calculating the presence and the growth of the flies or the maggots, you can pinpoint the exact date of death.
Or murder.
Very learned fellow. Also, he has a monkey named Ingrid, or Inga, that the chimpanzee helps him because he's in a wheelchair. He has a little laser pointer, and he points it at things, and we'll go and get it and bring it back to him. She also has an affinity for wanting to carry around sharp objects. Now, a young girl named Jennifer is arriving at this new school. Her father is a famous actor. Originally, Argento wanted permission to use pictures and clips of Al Pacino as her father, but Pacino, he didn't want to do that. Apparently, he thought, they could have used a different name, but he apparently thought that he didn't want to have him appearing in a film about a daughter he didn't have, or something to that effect. Anyways, Jennifer does demonstrate a rather interesting ability.
in any case. He's placed you in good hands. You know, I'm sure you're going to like our school. To begin with, we all speak English. And then our academic program is based on the American one. Oh, a bee!
Yeah, Taz knocked my drink over onto me. So, new shirt. Jennifer's talent is she can communicate with insects. She's always had an affinity for them. And taking her to school is one of the main teachers, Frau Bruckner. Bruckner, not Bruca. Cut that out. Anyway, once arriving, she meets her roommate, who tells her about a lot of the mysterious deaths that's been happening around there. And that night, another girl was attacked. And Jennifer starts sleepwalking. Yes, by some strange supernatural or who knows means, she sleepwalked right to the scene of the crime, witnessed it. She also fell off the ledge where she was standing, which woke her up. At which point she went running. And she ends up in town where a couple of guys try to pick her up. She gets scared, escapes their car, and then runs into Inga, who takes her to Professor McGregor, and they become fast friends and again demonstrates her affinity with bugs. The next night, she asks her roommate to watch her while she sleeps to make sure she doesn't sleepwalk, but her roommate sneaks out to meet her boyfriend.
Sex.
Maybe not. They don't really show. But after her boyfriend leaves and she starts to head back to the school, well, I think we can guess what happens. Man, people are leaving fast in this film. Jennifer woke up and started to sleepwalk, but then she heard the murder, which kind of snapped her out of it. And when she goes outside to investigate the noise, a lightning bug leads her to an interesting discovery. A glove with maggots. Wow. Could be the killer's glove. Next day she takes it to Professor McGregor. He can probably use it. Then at the school, she gets bullied by all the girls, and this causes her to use her powers. Yeah, that freaked me out too. Well, she comes to her senses in a room on an IV with a nurse and overhears the head mistress saying that she's called an ambulance to have Jennifer taken to a mental hospital. It's obvious there's something wrong with her and they are not equipped to deal with it. Well, once alone, she pulls out the IV, throws some clothes on, or maybe she was wearing the clothes, I don't remember. Anyways, and makes it to McGregor's house, where he, in their discussions, finds that he believes that the glove did belong to the killer, and that the reason there were so many maggots in it is this specific kind of maggot lives off dead flesh. The killer must be storing his victims somewhere. And he pulls out an insect called the Great Sarcophagi.
It is capable of picking up the scent of a dead body over vast distances. There. She's not afraid of you. He won't do that for me. Ask him to lead you where the dead bodies are hidden, and he'll lead you.
Okay. So, she takes the Great Sarcophagi, gets on a bus, and rides around the countryside, paying attention to her little friend, and eventually it leads her to get off the bus and investigate a house that looks kind of familiar back in the beginning of the movie. The house the first girl was murdered in.
That's right.
Anyways, our intrepid detective goes in and starts looking around, following the fly still. Leads her to a closet. And as she's investigating the closet, she gets discovered.
Came here to steal, did you?
No, I was looking for someone.
You were looking for someone. Come on, the house is empty. No one's lived here since the former tenants moved out 8 months ago.
Luckily, she gets away before he does anything untoward, let us say.
Sex.
While she's making her way back to McGregor's, someone locks Inga out of McGregor's house.
Who is it? Hey, answer me! Who are you?
Is only mostly dead.
I'm pretty sure he's all dead. Well, that is enough for Jennifer. She heads to the airport, and since she's not been able to get a hold of her father, he's on location, she calls her father's agent, begging, pleading, screaming at him about she needs a plane ticket. He needs to send her money for a plane ticket right the heck now. That's not exactly what she gets.
Hello, Jennifer. Your father's attorney, Mr. Shapiro, called us from New York. He was very worried about you and extremely angry with us for, let's say, losing you.
Oh, well, now wait. She's not going back to the school. He allocated Mrs. Bruckner to buy her plane ticket and give her some money to get her home. Unfortunately, the last plane has already left, so she'll have to wait till tomorrow. But since she doesn't want to go back to the school, she'll be staying at the teacher's house. Meanwhile, the inspector, remember him from way back there? He hasn't been letting any moss grow on his stones. He's been popping up usually after Jennifer's been there to do some investigating, and now we get to see him starting to put some things together.
Can I explain? It isn't as if someone got out of your institution, but rather got in. You have had such a case, I believe.
Yes, a curious incident. It happened about 15 years ago.
Someone who broke in to an asylum. Huh. Well, at Mrs. The teacher's house, where she lives with her son, she finds that Jennifer is running a bit of a fever, so she gives her a pill for that. And Jennifer goes into the bathroom and takes the medicine. Okay. So Bruckner is the villain.
This just about solves the mystery.
Pretty close, yeah. Well, finding out her pill solution didn't work, our murderess takes a more direct approach.
Hi, keeper.
Luckily, before she can do more, there's a knock at the door. So she takes the phone out of that room, locks Jennifer in, and then goes to see who's calling at that time of night.
15 years ago, when you were still working in Basel, you were assaulted. Surely you haven't forgotten the incident.
No. Look at this.
I'm wondering if this is turning into one of them Freddy Krueger, son of 100 maniacs kind of thing. Anyway, at the airport, someone who we've heard about shows up.
Mr. Shapiro?
Yes?
The car rental agency. Your car is right outside. Here's the key. Do you need the map, sir?
No, thank you. I know the area.
I wonder if he'll arrive in time. Now, the teacher has invited the inspector into the house. And while that's been going on, we get a long, suspenseful sequence where Jennifer finds a phone in the next room, finagles her way into that room through the transom, and tries to make a call when the phone goes down in through a pit. So she goes after it.
Don't be afraid. I'm Inspector Geiger.
Wow. Man, he got beat up and chained up pretty quick. Well, she's a little distraught, so in her struggle, she pushes away and makes a gnarly discovery. Oh, that is even worse than the swimming pool scene in Poltergeist. Wonder if that's where he got the inspiration.
Could be.
Our murderess arrives and starts laughing maniacally. At which point, our intrepid inspector happens to have a pocket knife with him and dislocates his thumb so he can get out of his restraints and take care of this problem. Damn, he's going to town. Understandable. Looks like he's been pretty messed up. Well, Jennifer manages to get out of the pit and runs down this basement hallway where she finally finds the sun.
It's all over.
Whoa! Okay, I wasn't quite expecting that. Naturally, she runs away and gets to a boat. And we find out that the little mutant boy is actually the real murderer here. See, he's the one that had that lance that was doing all the nasty stuff. She looks done for. If only she had some kind of special power that could help her through all this. Man, things are vicious. Well, now that he's taken care of, it's time to get on out of there. Oh, that looks bad.
Just because something isn't good doesn't mean it's bad.
Anyways, looks like she's gonna have to swim to shore. When turns out the little guy isn't quite dead yet. Okay, I think he's gone now. And Jennifer makes it to shore, where she has another surprise waiting for her.
Jennifer? Thank God.
My goodness, she is saved. That woman is unstoppable. Oh no, she's going to monologue.
He was deceased, but he was my son. And you have... Why didn't I kill you before? I killed that inspector and your professor friend to protect him.
I don't think Jennifer can get out of this one.
Why don't you call your insects? Go on! Crawl! Crawl!
Didn't see that coming, even though they kind of foreshadowed it. But, well, might as well end with a big clinch between the hero and heroine. Hey, I never said it was going to be a romantic one. And that is the end of Creepers. Now that's the American version. The original version was called Phenomena. And it ran about a half hour longer than this one. And I have seen that version, but the extra footage in the version I saw wasn't dubbed over into English. It was dubbed over into Italian. And although they say that version's better, I don't think so. I think this one has a better pace. They just cut out some extraneous scenes, mostly with the inspector, because he doesn't really do much in this film. He just kind of pops up every now and then, always just after something's happened, and he asks some questions. Yeah, this is a really good film. Some would probably say this is probably Argento's last really good film. Especially, well, no, they might go with opera as well. But the stuff he was making after in the late 90s into the new millennium, like his version of Dracula, which had some of the worst CGI effects I've ever seen. And there was his unfortunate third part of his Three Mothers trilogy that was several years, no, many years too late. And it was his Giallo, which was a Giallo about a killer who had hepatitis, so his skin was yellow. But yeah, as he got older, the master was kind of losing his touch. But here he's still firing on all cylinders. And now the mutant boy, that is actually an act. They made him up as he was suffering from an actual disease. And much like Rick Baker did with the original makeup he did for Jason in the one scene where they show him drowning in the original Friday the 13th. It's the actual medical condition he gave him. And it is a shock when you see the face and everything, because you think it's his mother that's the one doing all this, and that she's even torturing her son. But turns out he was the real monster the whole time. A lot of good performances. Considering how young she is, Jennifer Connelly, really good in this. Really sympathetic. She comes off very smart. And she's got a great scream. You know, you can't be a heroine in a horror film without a good scream. And she got a good one. And she's very sympathetic and very vulnerable. But a little tough there, because you see her continuing on. And of course you got Donald Pleasence, who unfortunately leaves the film too early. But even small sections of Donald Pleasence are still welcomed. The sleepwalking thing doesn't really add to the film, and it's kind of dropped after she leaves the school. And also his placement of the heavy metal tracks, fine choices of songs from Motorhead and Iron Maiden. The problem is where he puts them. Why are you having a thrash metal song from Motorhead playing while a victim is being wheeled out on a gurney? It's not too bad during like the second attack where it's playing while she runs. It's kind of got some momentum behind it, but that Motorhead one, I still don't get that. And I've seen this film several times, and it's still the same thing. It's like, what? But aside from those, yeah, it's pretty good. There's some really graphic scenes. The inspector scenes, up until he gets to this time, they really go nowhere. So he's questioning someone about that house, which, of course, I think it turns out, they don't come out and say it, but it's implied she used to live there, because he asks her where she lived before she lived where she is now, when he's questioning her about, you know, the asylum and everything. So I guess but I think that was probably, confirmation of that was probably in the footage that they excised out. And oh god, that monkey. You gotta love the chimp. Such a cool character she plays. You know, much better than the one in was it Monkey Shines? The why am I thinking Coppola? No, it's the evil the Walking Dawn of the Dead director. I'll put it in here, and I will kick myself for not remembering it. But he did Monkey Shines, about a monkey that's been given injections in the brain to make him smarter, and then she's used to a paraplegic to do things for him, and falls in love with him and starts killing everyone around him that she thinks is trying to take him away. Much better than that. Similar kind of training, I'm sure, but really like the chimp. Although in real life, he apparently, towards the end of the shoot, due to a misunderstanding, bit part of Jennifer Connelly's finger off, and they rushed her to the hospital, and the finger was able to be reattached and saved. But yeah, apparently the chimp kept turning at the wrong time, and so Argento asked Connelly, just put your hand on him and hold him so we can get the shot, and she did, and he flipped out and bit her. But everything's okay. But we have to remember, chimps are wild animals, no matter how much they've been trained and how cute they are and how human-like they are. They're a lot stronger than a human, and they can get vicious. But other than that, there weren't too many mishaps here. And of course, the son was played by an actual little person who was in heavy makeup for his role as the mutant. Yeah, enjoyable film. Really liked it. I'd put it second tier Argento. It's not up there with like Tenebrae, Suspiria, and Deep Red, but it's sort of, middle tier with like Opera, Four Flies on Grey Velvet, and some of his others. But yeah, very enjoyable. Really liked it. Please hit like, share, and subscribe, and stay after the credits for my favorite scene.
Where did you get this? Where did you find it? Outside. And who, may I ask, put it out there? I don't want you ever playing with this again.